The Miami Heat are yet again interested in signing Danilo Gallinari in this free agency. This is all being reported by 5 Reason Sports. And what's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. It's been kind of crazy, all these trade news and, signing news. We're hearing a lot of new stuff happen very recently, and again, it's actually, probably one of the most craziest trade periods that we've seen so far. Chris Paul's been traded. There was a big rumor that Chris Paul was actually going to be getting traded to the Knicks, and then Danilo Gallinari would actually go and follow him and sign there. Well, again, could the same thing possibly happen where Danilo Gallinari actually, instead of going to the Knicks, could go to the Phoenix Suns and play with Chris Paul? Again, that would all be very interesting and all, but for the time being, it is currently being reported that the Miami Heat are working on several ways to bring in Danilo Gallinari to the team. Now, look, I genuinely don't believe this is going to happen. I believe this report is a kind of, I wouldn't say, it's obviously not fake, because again, these are actual sources, but I don't believe this is what is going to happen at all. I genuinely believe this is probably going to be false, as I feel like the Miami Heat are so kind of attached to maybe trying to get Giannis to the team. And even though I could see a way where Jimmy Butler, Bam, Giannis, and Danilo Gallinari could all be on the same team, I just don't really feel like that would happen at all, because even though Giannis could definitely guard the small forward position, I just feel like his more natural position would be to run the floor at power forward with Bam Adebayo at center. Now, again, a team of point guard Goran Dragic, Jimmy Butler at shooting guard, Giannis at small forward, Gallinari at power forward, and Bam at center would be absolute lethal. It's just the cap situations would be so hard to potentially deal with. I mean, Giannis is probably going to, if he ever does get to the Miami Heat, eventually, maybe next season, I would say it'd probably be like a sign and trade on the Supermax, where he would get traded to the Miami Heat on that big Supermax deal. Butler's already on the max. Bam will be going on something close to the max very soon. I have a feeling Dragic will be on about $10 to $15 million on his next contract. A player like Danilo Gallinari is going to want at least $15 to $20 million as well. And with all the other players that the Miami Heat are going to have to keep on their roster, I just can't see a way where they're going to be able to do this with all the contracts, etc. I don't really think it makes too much sense either, as I feel like I would say Danilo Gallinari is better suited to be on a different team. I feel like the Miami Heat, their main type of style is to be very, mid-range shots, great defense, etc. Gallinari is more of a three-point, predominant type of player. He's not necessarily a great defender. He's just more as that three-point shooter, and I feel like that's what he will always be. Not just that, that's his more likely thing to do, is stay on the three-point line than hit up with the mid-range. And I just feel like the Heat already have, tons of guards that can already do a very similar thing. We've seen, Tyler Hero. He's a player that can just dagger threes wherever on the court. Again, Duncan Robinson, etc. Kendrick Nunn's a pretty good catch-and-shoot player. Goran Dragic too. I just don't feel like they really need any of those more catch-and-shoot three-point shooters. So Danilo Gallinari, he doesn't really make the most amount of sense to me. If I was Gallinari, I don't necessarily know if the Phoenix Suns will want him. Well, they would definitely want him, I feel like, but again, it's just, I don't feel like they would actually go ahead and sign him. I feel like they're keen on Cameron Johnson, who is not as good, but is a cheaper type of player than what he would potentially be. I still feel like the Knicks will obviously be keen. Again, the Philadelphia 76ers will probably be pretty keen as well. They'll probably want to do a sign and trade, get rid of Al Horford's big contract and a couple of first-round picks or something like that to get Danilo Gallinari to the team, give Joel Embiid a spacing power forward. I could definitely see something like that potentially happening, and that would make a lot of sense for the Philadelphia 76ers. And again, there will just be tons of other teams here and there as well that will also be interested in Gallinari. But for the time being, I'm not exactly too confident on the Miami Heat, going ahead and signing him. If they do, I would think it'd only be for a short one-year deal, because again, they're keeping very close tabs on Giannis. They're keeping close tabs on Drew Holiday, and they're also keeping, close tabs on, I'd say, not Drew Holiday, sorry, Victor Oladipo as well. So those three players are all better than what Danilo Gallinari is, and again, they're going to be on slight bit more money, especially Drew Holiday and Victor Oladipo. That's just the thing. If you can get a healthy Oladipo to the team, he could be a very good player for the Heat. He fits in with the mid-range and defensive category. So does Drew Holiday. Giannis, you know, again, very defensive. Not necessarily a mid-range player to say, but again, with the shooters around him, you could definitely work around that. And considering Giannis is the reigning MVP, you wouldn't think you would knock back a deal to get Giannis to the team, would you? So, it's going to be a very interesting thing to kind of see how that all goes. I've heard there are rumors that the Heat are very keen on Giannis. There's even a thing where Nick Kyrgios actually spoke about him. For those of you who don't know who he is, he's again one of the best tennis players in the world. I believe he's ranked top 30. He's an Aussie and he is good mates with Giannis, I do believe. And he said he spoke with Giannis and asked him, what do you reckon is going to be happening with the Miami Heat? Do you reckon you'll end up going there eventually? And apparently, according to him, Giannis actually ended up pretty much giving a big smile and not necessarily saying too much about it. So, that's going to be obviously extremely interesting to potentially see how that goes. I feel like Giannis with Jimmy Butler would be a very, very good duo. And Bam as well. Bam with Giannis would be a pretty interesting duo. I feel like that is almost unstoppable to get that to the team. But Gallinari, yeah, I just don't really think it's going to happen. I can't really see it happening. I don't really think it makes any too much sense. And I feel like the only reason it would happen is if they got Gallinari on a 1-year deal. And I feel like Gallinari could definitely get like a 4-year deal, sign and trade to like the Philadelphia 76ers or something like that. So again, that's just what I feel like is going to potentially happen. But of course, I would really like to hear all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Do you guys think that the Miami Heat will bring in Danilo Gallinari? Do you guys think they might go after another player? Or, again, I just would really like to know. Do you guys think they'll end up getting Giannis very soon as well? Of course, I'd very much like to hear all of your thoughts and opinions on this down below. But, of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for all the sports-related content and news. Of course, don't forget to subscribe to my gaming channel and my IRL/vlogging channel as well if you haven't already. And don't forget to check out my podcast as well if you haven't already. Links for them will all be in the description down below. But as I was saying, I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.